Definitely a very fun topic and something that I think affects most of us, especially when you have 84% of people saying that they couldn't go a single day without their phone. I knew you were going to do that.
sorry about that.
Brilliant.
Poor form, poor manners. Shut this thing off.
I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Don't call me.
We're on TV right now.
This is tacky. We're above this.
So we should. We'll hang up.
But you know what? There are now articles in terms of mobile device and etiquette and manners, because this is something that is affecting so many people. 84% of people can't go without their phones for a single day. Trisha Owens, Leanne, Cusack, Carson joining us from all the different properties here in the building.
I can't go, honestly, 10 minutes without my phone.
Well, that's good, because you're part of the, what, 75% that check it every 10 minutes.
I'm like, shouldn't say that, but I'm like driving and I'm at a stoplight and I'm just checking just to see if there's any messages that I need to tend
So is this part of the show where we admit to past crimes? That we're, okay, all right.
Hello, my name is Leanne, and
you're every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes, yeah.
I could go 10 days, but I actually cannot do that because it's so easy now. When you had to dial, and when a cell phone weighed 80 pounds, no one was addicted to their cell phone, but it's so convenient, and it's a time saver in so many ways.
I noticed that over the holidays, I did not turn on my laptop for about a week, and I can't remember the last time that I did that. And my wife and I are sitting around, and we're, the baby's in bed, we've done the dishes, and we're sitting around, and instead of talking to each other, we're both on our phones, and we're browsing Twitter or Facebook, checking up on emails.
Get your emails through the phone, right? So you don't necessarily need the computer.
So it's understandable, but the etiquette point is huge. But another thing, and I feel kind of a little bit badly, because every time we're on together, I bring up neurotransmitters or brain chemistry. But apparently, just in keeping a form, apparently there's a surge of dopamine when a little ding comes in for a text message.
Or that red light blinks if you have a BlackBerry, the red light's blinking. I'm like, oh my God, I got a message.
I didn't get that message because my tinfoil hat stops those signals from reaching me.
Yeah, but talking about the signals, we have so many of these. I wanted another stat saying that a lot of these kids, a lot of teenagers are actually taking their phones with them to bed. So you can imagine that they've got that cell phone right under the pillow, right next to the pillow.
And if neurologists tell you you're not supposed to hold your cell phone close to your head, if the neurologists are saying that, it's not a good idea to be sleeping with your phone, because...
So we're dealing with a society now that is addicted to their cell phones, and I think now you're having more of these rules in households now. The families are forced to actually focus in on the issue, and now it's come one of those talks. So you have different kinds of talks, and now it's cell phone etiquette. I know in some houses the rule is during supper, phones are off, nowhere near the table. But then when you have guests over, I had a friend over at my place, and right in the middle of dinner, she starts texting her, checking her text messages. So like, what are you doing?
What's happening?
But the thing is you're right, is that everyone kind of feels like they need to be in the know. They need to be now. Was one of our producers, and I'm sorry for telling this story, but every time she goes out with their girlfriends, they take their phones and they put them at the corner of the table so no one can get. So she says every time one blinks or it vibrates, everyone's kind of itching, right? They're itching to get to the phone, but the first person to reach for the phone
has to pay.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea.
And so no one wants to be able to do that. But how horrible is it that we are getting to those types of measures to be able to force ourselves to break away and to enjoy conversation with people who you would normally be texting and messaging anyway?
Well, you know, that you hit the nail on the head. And with Twitter, because you mentioned Twitter, it's so interesting because so many people are having conversations with people they may not know and missing the moment they are in, and eye contact, and actually, being in.
There was apparently huge lineups at stores that specialize in smartphones, like in the new year, so after New Year's Eve, because tons of people were bringing them into the bathroom with them, had maybe a few too many drinks, flushing them down the toilet or dropping them in the toilet, and then they needed to be fixed because people can't even go to the bathroom without the phone.
Well, no, because sometimes people, that's their entertainment while they're actually on the phone.
Oh, guilty.
I just guilty.
I don't want to know that.
I'm not wiping with it.
Oh, that's nasty. Okay.
I don't want to know that either.
Do you think do you find a lot of people saying it's an extension of their arm, but what's going to happen now? We're already looking at 84% of people that are completely addicted. What happens? What will then happen?
Oh my God.
Mutations. People's thumbs will be stronger.
Well, they are stronger. They're saying thumbs are stronger, attention shorter, and temptation is everywhere. We're constantly it's like somewhere else is always where you want to be.
You can't get through. Like, it's already hard for me being on the show. I gotta go check my phone.
Here, would you like to use mine?
I don't think this is what Darwin had in mind when he was talking about that kind of mutation and evolution, because what are we going to be at, you know, in 10, 15, 20 years from now? We'll be a generation of people that can't even do the thumbs up anymore because the hands are going to be locked at 90 degrees.
Well, brains are going to change, without question.
Yeah.
And I think they already are. But I mean, I'm kind of in both worlds. I need it when I need it, and if I am on vacation or somewhere where I don't need.
So you can unplug.
Nice.
You can unplug completely. Okay, so you're
I totally
you're on
cannot
vacation. You
unplug.
don't need to get your work emails.
Yeah, still have to check it. Still have to check it, so I don't have a ton of it when I get home. It's bad.
Okay.
We get a ton of junk email from Brazil all the time. So if I don't go in and check my work email, the filters aren't set up to nail every single piece of Portuguese email that I get every day. So I have to go in there. If not, I get 400 emails from spam.
I know that. But we use that, right? As the same thing. It's like if I don't go through them, then I just have more work. But then, but at the same time, you could have the little one who's kind of, you know, wanting, hey, Daddy, can you play with me on the floor for a bit? Where is that more useful, the deleting of those 500 emails? Sometimes it's a reality check sometimes, and when your kids say, Mom, can you put the phone down? Oh, you know it's bad. That's sometimes when you're like, it's a dagger, and sometimes it's a harsh realization that priorities.
Too much time on
And you know what, it does come back to manners, doesn't it?
Oh, that's a lost art nowadays anyways.
When your 4-year-old's out the window, Anyway, great discussion. Thank you very much. You can go and take your phone home.
Actually, it was just